The plot twist murder no one saw coming. At 2:13 a.m., the elevator in Brookline Towers stopped on the 12th floor. It shouldn't have. The building logs would later show it made that stop for exactly 9 seconds. Doors opened, no keycard swipe, no call button pressed. Then it went back down like nothing happened. 9 seconds. That was the first thing Detective Ethan Hart wrote in his notebook, because 9 seconds is too short for a mistake and too perfect for an accident. When Ethan arrived, the hallway smelled like clean soap and old carpet. Nothing dramatic, no screaming neighbors, just one apartment door cracked open like someone had tried to close it and change their mind. Inside, the victim sat at his dining table with a glass of water, still sweating under the lamp. Miles Carver, 39, finance manager, quiet life, clean record. No enemies, at least none that would admit it. He looked like he'd fallen asleep mid-thought, except his eyes were open, and his right hand was wrapped tightly around a pen, as if he'd been writing until the last second and refused to let go. The medical examiner lifted Miles's eyelid with a gloved finger. "No trauma," she said. "No forced entry. No signs of a struggle." Ethan scanned the room. No broken glass. No mess. A normal apartment. Too normal. On the counter was a plate with half a sandwich. On the stove, a kettle that had boiled and clicked off. And on the fridge, a single sticky note in neat handwriting. "Don't forget, 2:30. Ethan's partner, Detective Sam Reyes, leaned closer. "Meeting? Or a reminder," Ethan said. "But for what?" The neighbor who called it in was a woman across the hall named Tessa Rowe. Early 30s, calm voice. The kind of calm people admire, until they realize it never breaks. "I heard his TV," Tessa said. "It turned off suddenly. Then, nothing. I knocked. The door was unlocked." "Did you come inside?" Sam asked. "No," Tessa said quickly. "I just called 911. Ethan noticed something small. Tessa's hands. Clean nails. No shaking. No tapping fingers. Her calm wasn't fearlessness. It was control. The apartment building had cameras, but the 12th floor hallway camera had glitched from 210 to 222. "Convenient," Sam muttered. The building manager swore it happened all the time. Ethan didn't argue. He just asked for elevator logs. That's when the 9 seconds appeared. A stop on the 12th floor at 2:13 a.m. Doors open. Doors shut. No record of who called it. Sam frowned. So someone came up without using a key card? Or they already had access, Ethan said. Inside Miles's apartment, CSI found something even stranger. The water glass on the table had 2 sets of prints, Miles and another. Ethan looked at the half sandwich. "One bite," he said. Sam nodded. "And it doesn't look like his." They checked Miles's phone. The last message was sent at 2:06 a.m. to one contact saved as Tessa, 12B. "Miles, you were right. I'm ready to tell the truth." Ethan felt the room tighten. Sam looked up. So he was going to confess something. Ethan's eyes drifted back to the sticky note. "Don't forget, 2:30. Not midnight, not morning, a time he planned to be alive." Then the medical examiner called from the kitchen sink. "Detective, come look." Inside the trash, under a paper towel, was a tiny plastic packet, like a vitamin wrapper, with a printed label, Sleep Aid, Melatonin Gummies. Except it wasn't melatonin. Lab results came back an hour later. It was a sedative, strong enough to stop breathing if mixed with alcohol or certain medications. Miles had been killed quietly, neatly, and if the killer made it look like he fell asleep, most people would never question it. Sam pulled building records. Tessa Rowe worked as a night nurse at a private clinic. Access to sedatives made sense, but Ethan didn't rush to arrest her, because something didn't fit. If Tessa poisoned him, why leave the elevator stop? Why leave the prints on the glass? Why risk being seen? Unless she didn't risk it. Unless she was never there. Ethan went back to the elevator logs and compared them to something else. The building's maintenance schedule. At 2:10 a.m., the elevator system had an automatic diagnostic run. The report showed a remote login from a maintenance tablet, The name on the login was Miles Carver. Sam blinked. Miles logged into his own elevator system? Ethan's voice stayed low. Or someone logged in as him. They pulled Miles's laptop. It was open on the dining table. Screen dimmed, but still awake. A spreadsheet filled the screen. Names, dates, dollar amounts. A familiar kind of list. In the corner of the desktop was a file titled, "For Ethan if anything happens." His stomach dropped. He opened it. It was a short note. "Ethan, if you're reading this, I didn't die by accident. I found out someone in this building is running a blackmail ring. They collect secrets from tenants, cameras, messages, payments. I was part of it until I tried to get out. Tessa isn't the boss. She's the bait. The boss is the one person who can move around this building without being noticed. The one person everyone ignores. Check the service logs. Check who has the master key." Miles Sam whispered, "Maintenance." Ethan nodded. They went straight to the building office. The maintenance supervisor was a man named Gavin Holt, late 40s. Friendly smile, always a tool belt, always just doing his job. When Ethan asked for his keyring, he laughed nervously. "Detective, you think I killed him? I fix pipes." Ethan didn't argue. He just asked one question. "Where were you at 2:13 a.m.? Gavin shrugged. "In the basement workshop? Alone." Ethan held up the elevator report. "Your tablet logged in remotely, under Miles's name." Gavin's smile thinned. "That's, system stuff. I don't know." Then Sam found something in Gavin's drawer, a roll of fake clinic labels, and a small bag of gummy vitamins. Only these weren't vitamins. They were identical to the packet found in Miles's trash. Gavin's face changed, not panic, not fear, anger, because the mask had slipped. Ethan leaned in, voice steady. "You used the elevator diagnostic window, 9 seconds, in and out, no hallway camera." Gavin stared at the floor. "You put sedative gummies in his kitchen," Ethan continued. "You knew he'd take them. You knew his habits." Gavin swallowed. Sam added, "And you framed Tessa because her prints were easy to plant. She's the obvious suspect." That word, obvious, did it. Gavin's jaw tightened like someone insulted his work. "I didn't frame her," he snapped. Ethan didn't blink. "Then explain why Miles texted her right before he died." Gavin's eyes flicked up. Too fast. He'd been waiting for that. And that was the twist. Miles didn't text Tessa. Gavin did, using Miles's phone while Miles was already fading. He wanted a clean story, a neat ending, a perfect suspect. Ethan watched the moment Gavin realized what he'd just revealed. Knowledge he shouldn't have had unless he was there. Silence filled the office. Then Gavin exhaled, slow, like he was disappointed the world didn't appreciate him. "You know what people don't understand?" he said quietly. "How easy it is." Ethan's recorder was already on. Gavin stared at the wall, not at them. "People don't see maintenance," he said. "They see a uniform, a mop, a toolbox. They look through you." His voice hardened. "So I built a business out of it. Cameras, secrets, payments. Everyone has something to lose." "And Miles?" Sam asked. Gavin's mouth twitched. "Miles wanted to be a hero at the end." Ethan stepped closer. "So you made him look like he fell asleep?" Gavin nodded once. "I gave him gummies," he said. "I told him they'd help with stress. He trusted me because I fixed his sink last month. I watched him chew them like candy." He paused. "The elevator stop was my favorite part. 9 seconds. No proof. Just a ghost in the logs." Ethan's voice stayed flat. "Except you couldn't resist making it perfect." Gavin looked at him, eyes cold. "Perfect is the point," he said. When they walked him out in cuffs, tenants passed in the lobby and barely noticed. A maintenance man, just doing his job. Ethan looked back at the elevator, quiet, innocent, and he understood the real horror of the plot twist murder no one saw coming. The killer wasn't hidden in shadows. He was right in the open, and everyone had been trained to look right past him. Dark evidence. Case closed.